There's a friendship you have, or had, where you always left feeling smaller than when you arrived. Not because anything bad happened, not because they were cruel or cold or did something you could point to. You just left feeling less. Picture this. You're sitting in your car after dropping them off, engine still running, staring at nothing, and you think, why do I feel like this? Nothing even happened. You are tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix, a little fuzzy about who you are, like something had been quietly taken from you, with no crime, no argument, no explanation. And because nothing happened, because you loved this person, because the history is real, you told yourself you were imagining it. You looked in the mirror that night and thought, am I just being dramatic? Why can't I just be grateful? You're not imagining it. What you're describing has a name. It has a real psychology behind it, and understanding it might be one of the most important things you do before the pattern quietly follows you into every close relationship you'll ever have. Let's talk about it. If this is the kind of video you want more of, psychology, relationships, and the stuff most people never put into words, subscribe before we keep going. It genuinely helps. Okay, let's get into it. Elena Ferrante's My Brilliant Friend follows two women, Elena and Lila, from childhood through adulthood in Naples. It's considered one of the greatest novels of the 21st century. It's also one of the most psychologically accurate portrayals of a specific kind of friendship that most people never have language for. There's a scene, small, almost nothing, where Elena gets good news. She passes an exam, something she worked hard for, and for 1 second she's genuinely happy. Then she thinks, I have to tell Lila. And the moment she thinks it, the happiness shifts, gets smaller, because deep down she already knows Lila's reaction will decide how much this actually counts. That's the whole book in one moment. Elena spends her entire life measuring herself against Lila, achieving things to impress Lila, shrinking in Lila's presence, only expanding when Lila is gone. The friendship isn't abusive. Lila isn't a villain. There's genuine love, real history, real need. But Elena's sense of self never fully separates from Lila's. She can't tell for most of her life where Lila ends and she begins. That's not a toxic relationship story. That's a story about something more specific. It's called enmeshment, and it's far more common and far more quietly damaging than anything most people talk about when they talk about difficult relationships. In the 1950s, a psychiatrist named Murray Bowen noticed something strange. Some people, no matter how old they got, no matter how far they moved, no matter how much therapy they did, never fully felt like their own person. They weren't weak, but they let other people define who they were. When those people were anxious, they were anxious. When those people were happy, they felt okay. Their inner world had no real borders. Everything leaked in. He called this fusion. Later researchers extended it beyond families to friendships. And the word that became widely used was enmeshment. Here's the simplest way to understand it. Enmeshment is when two people's identities become so tangled together that neither can clearly think or feel as an individual. It doesn't require abuse. It doesn't require one person being manipulative. It can grow entirely out of love, out of closeness that went one step too far, that crossed from genuine intimacy into something more like merger. And when your identity is still forming, when you're still figuring out what you actually think, want, and value, an enmeshed friendship doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects who you become. Here are 5 signs that show that you're in such a relationship. Sign 1. You can't tell your emotions from theirs. You're having a normal day, fine, calm, maybe even good. Then your phone buzzes, something's wrong on their end. And by the time you put the phone down, you're not okay either. Not because you chose to feel that way, but because their emotional state became yours, automatically, before you even had a chance to think about it. That's not empathy.
Empathy is choosing to sit with someone in their pain. This is different. This is their feelings walking into you without knocking. Healthy closeness means caring about someone's emotions. Enmeshment means having their emotions whether you want to or not.
Sign 2. Their success quietly feels like your threat. This is the one people don't want to admit. When they win, get the opportunity, the recognition, the thing they wanted, you smile, you say the right thing, but underneath something tightens. Not quite jealousy, something harder to name. It feels like it's somehow happening to you, because somewhere, without you realizing it, their success and your success got placed on the same scale. If they go up, some part of you registers going down, even though nothing in your actual life changed. Ferrante captures this so precisely it's uncomfortable to read. Every time Leela succeeds, Elena feels proud and quietly gutted at the exact same time. Not because she's a bad person, because their identities are fused. Sign 3. You become a different version of yourself around them. Not better or worse, just different. You notice it on the drive home. You said something you don't actually believe, laughed at something that wasn't funny to you, stayed quiet about something that genuinely mattered to you. You walk back into your apartment and think, who was that? Research on self-concept clarity, which explains how consistently you know who you are, shows that people in enmeshed relationships tend to lose definition specifically around that one person. They know who they are everywhere else. Around this one person, they blur. Sign 4. Just maintaining the friendship is exhausting. Before you text them, you check your own mood first. Before you share good news, you mentally rehearse how they'll take it. Before you say anything, you read the temperature of the room. There's an invisible ledger running at all times. Who gave what? Who owes what? Who's more invested this week? And the strange part is, you've stopped noticing the exhaustion because this has started to feel like what closeness is supposed to feel like. It isn't. Sign 5. You feel guilty for having a life that doesn't include them. You had a great weekend, new people, real energy, you laughed harder than you have in months, and then on the drive home, the guilt arrives. Should I have told them? Would they be hurt? Am I a bad friend for not including them? In a healthy friendship, your independence is something to celebrate. In an enmeshed one, it's a quiet threat to the whole system.
Here's the thing nobody tells you about enmeshed friendships. They don't start bad, they start really good. Think about when it began, that specific kind of closeness where someone just got you, where you didn't have to explain yourself, where you thought, finally, someone who actually understands. That feeling was real. Enmeshment almost always begins between two people who have similar wounds, finding each other at a vulnerable moment and building a closeness that gives them exactly what they were missing at exactly the cost they can't see yet. Usually, both people carry some version of the same fear, not being enough on their own. A history somewhere of love that felt conditional, a childhood where being needed is how you knew you were loved. When two people like that find each other, the bond is intense and genuine. But the invisible structure underneath, the emotional dependency, the unspoken rules, the identity merger, is built on a wound, not a foundation. And over time, the wound asks to be fed. This video is not about ending the friendship. Let's be clear about that. Enmeshment can be a phase, something that existed because you both needed it at a particular time that can shift as you both grow. What psychologists describe as the goal is differentiated intimacy, staying close while staying distinct. Two people who are genuinely connected but whose sense of self doesn't collapse into each other. It looks like this. You care deeply about someone without getting swallowed by their emotional state. You can celebrate their success without it touching your own self-worth. You have opinions that differ from theirs without it threatening the relationship. You live your life fully without a guilt hangover. And you can be honest with each other even when it's uncomfortable because the friendship is strong enough to hold it. That last one matters most. Enmeshed friendships can't hold honesty. The relationship is too fragile, not because it lacks love, but because it lacks the structure of two separate people who each know who they are. Differentiated intimacy can hold honesty. It can hold distance. It can hold both of you changing, even when you're not changing in the same direction.
Here's the part I want to be honest about. This isn't something you solve by the end of a video. It's slow work. It starts with noticing when you've lost yourself, recovering your own voice, needing the friendship slightly less, not because it matters less, but because you matter more. You can only do your half. Sometimes the friendship adjusts as you do. The other person, feeling you become more yourself, becomes more themselves too. The enmeshment loosens. Something healthier takes its shape. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the friendship was only ever built on the fusion, and when the fusion goes, the friendship can't survive it. You might lose it. You might sit in your car again, staring at nothing, thinking, I don't even know who I am without this. That's a real loss. It deserves to be grieved. But the alternative, staying blurred, spending your most formative years building an identity inside someone else's shadow, costs more than you can currently calculate. You clicked on this video because something in you already knows that. That knowing matters. Start there. If this hits something real, drop a comment. Describe it in your own words. I read every single one, and this is the kind of conversation worth having. Share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe if you haven't. This is exactly what we do here. See you in the next video.